from Idaho. I strive to provide interesting videos about motorcycles, fabrication, welding, electronics, machining, and general creativity. I hope you enjoy.
Hello from Idaho. I was just about to tack weld up a little tool I'm making for my offset grinders, so that I have on one tool something that does all of the various attachment. So this end has got the typical hex pattern on it that allows me to take off my flap wheels and whatnot. This end is for the type of connectors that use 2 pins. This one allows me to vary the width of the pin, so this end replaces 2 wrenches, and then this end is a wrench. And I've got my little magnet here and a little place for me to tack weld. And they've been dipped in muriatic acid, so I don't have any cadmium or anything left on them anywhere. But anyway, that's what started this. I got my TIG welder ready to go. Just need a fresh tungsten. This video is about a little product that I found that I think I'm really going to like. I haven't really tried it yet because we're going to do that together. But first, let's talk about typical tungsten grinding. Some people use a flap wheel on a 90-degree offset, and that works okay. You can spin it while it's turning and get the shape you want and get the graduations, the little tiny slices going the right direction. You always want them to go front to back. And that's a little bit problematic because you end up having to support it and twist it and hold it. What I've been doing for a long time is I've got this little grinder that I got off of Craigslist for, 20 bucks or something, and I typically do the same thing. I hold the tungsten and rotate it while this thing is spinning, and that gives me a nice grind. You just have to remember to move it all around so that you don't grind a big giant groove in your stone. And that works fine. I've been using that for 20 odd years. And this little grinder's been a trooper throughout that whole time. But I think I found a better product. And it's basically a grinder attachment that goes on the end of a Dremel. And so most fabricators have a Dremel tool. I certainly have a couple of them. And this thing is supposed to screw on like this. And then the concept is that you find the size of tungsten you have, and the angle that you want to cut it at. So like this is 40, this is 15, this is 20, and this is 30. I use 30 almost exclusively. It's good for steel, good for aluminum, good for high current. I almost don't grind any other shape unless I've got a special application. Really thin stuff, I might use a different one. So anyway, you insert your tungsten in here, and there's a spinning diamond wheel inside the fixture that you rub your tungsten against. Well, if I could get it out, that would be great. So it comes with some diamond wheels like this, little tiny grinding wheel, and some mandrels. And so put a mandrel on here, just like this. So we put the diamond wheel on the mandrel, push the mandrel all the way into the collet, and tighten it. And that sets the height in the jig so that when you screw this on, and stick your tungsten in the appropriate hole, I like 30 degrees, like I said, then I'm going to get this up closer so you all can see, but the tungsten meets the grinding wheel, in this case at a 30-degree angle. And you can also see that at 30 degrees, I've got slots for all different size tungstens. This one happens to be 1/8, but it goes all the way down to 40 thousandths of an inch, covers all the standard tungsten sizes. And there's 40 degrees, 15 degrees, and then by taking this apart, and turning it over, then we get more angles, 50 degrees, we get more angles, 50, 55, 60, and 45 by just flipping it over. This is the way I'll use it mostly, since, like I said, I use 30-degree tungstens almost exclusively. Most of them are sharp, some of them are blunt, depending on the application. So like I said, there's the grinding wheel down here. It's a little diamond wheel, and then, like I said, around the outside, we've got various holes at angles, and so there's 4 different angles on the top and 4 different angles on the bottom. And I'm probably going to be using 30 degrees, 99% of the time, because this is where the sweet spot is for me for TIG. So let's turn this thing on and see if it actually works. So there's speed number 2. Put the tungsten in there. And just let the wheel work at it. A little more speed. Most of the time I'm just cleaning up a cut, a tungsten, but in this case I have to start with a brand new one. So this is the maximum amount of grinding that I would have to do. Let's see. So there we have 30 degrees with a small blunt on the end. I would use that sometimes, but we'll go ahead and grind this up to a point. I like the fact that it holds it at a precise angle so that my tip isn't parabolic shaped. It's just a nice pointy grind. So let me tell you a little bit about how I got here. So as usual, I started out with research. For people that weld all day long, all year long, there are some really nice, expensive tungsten grinders. Some of them cost up to 600 bucks. Some of them are only 300. None of those are in the price range of a hobbyist. And so, like I said, this is a $20 solution. An offset grinder and a flap wheel is $60. But I got this thing off of Amazon. I can't remember exactly. I will put the picture in here. And there are at least a dozen different types like this. A lot of them are very poor, though. Some of them take a lot reduced number of tungsten, sizes of tungsten. Some of them have only one angle per size of tungsten. If you read the comments, a lot of them, the little grinding disc doesn't align itself with the hole, so you can't really use them unless you go in and modify the mandrel on the grinding disc. I read quite a few reviews and saw some videos on that. This one is high quality. It's aluminum. It's got a nice finish on it, which I care not about that, but it does do 6 different sizes of tungsten. Now, between 1/8 inch and 3/32, that's mostly what I weld with. But it would be nice to do 5/32 and 1/16, 3/32. I would probably never do 40 thousandths. I've never tried that. I've never tried to weld 2 gum wrappers together or 2 pop cans together. So that's not really the kind of fabrication I do. But at any rate, if you have a Dremel tool, this is about a $30 solution. If you don't have a Dremel tool, you can get reconditioned ones off of Amazon for $55 or so. And so I really like battery powered tools. It's really nice to be able to just take this wherever I'm welding and grind a new tungsten. I always sharpen both ends whenever I'm starting out with a new tungsten. This tool also has another nice feature. A lot of people, they'll get their tungsten all boogered up on the end. They'll get a lot of contaminants on it. And so they'll just put it over the edge of the welding table and whack it with something and break it. But what they're doing is they're putting a lot of little micro breaks in their tungsten. And so that will never weld correctly again until you grind down past all those fissures, those micro cracks. But this tool has a little slot along the side. So you just put your tungsten down in there and then push it up against the wheel and it cuts it off. And so that's a really nice feature. So if you get a piece of tungsten that's boogered up because it's got a lot of contaminants on it, you dipped your torch, or you didn't leave the gas flow on long enough, and the tungsten in the weld got exposed to oxygen, then it kind of builds this. It has this buildup around the end. In fact, with tools like this, a tungsten with a lot of buildup on it, contamination wouldn't fit in here, which is okay with me. I don't grind them if they're not right. And so I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to go ahead along with my welding project. Okay, it's been a couple of days since I left you. I've been doing laundry and making food and buying groceries and taking care of the household. But I did get a chance to sharpen up a 10-pack of tungsten electrodes with my spiffy new tool. And I can unequivocally say that I really like it now. I tried some of the different angles. They seem to be fairly accurate as far as the angle that it says on the little hole and the angle that you actually get. They're within a degree or so. And the good news is my little diamond wheel doesn't seem to be any worse for wear. Now this kit comes with 5 extra diamond wheels. That's 10 sides. And so actually that would be 6 diamond wheels in total, which is 12 sides. So I think that I'll get pretty good life out of it. The one downside I can see is that I do 30 degrees pretty much all the time, at least 80% of the time. And so that tungsten is going to wear on the same part of the diamond wheel. Whereas if I did 40 degrees and then sometimes 30, or 20 and sometimes 30, it may use different parts of the wheel. And the other good thing is that 30 degrees on 1/8 doesn't hit the same part of the wheel as 30 degrees on 3/16. So at any rate, I think I'll get pretty good life out of it. These little diamond wheels are actually available. They can be purchased as an individual set, and so you don't have to go out and buy an entire new kit. But the Dremel tool drives it just fine. It's got plenty of power. I've been running it on the 3rd speed. This particular Dremel has 4 speeds, and I've been running it on the 3rd speed. It seems to cut fine, and it doesn't get hot or anything. And so in closing, I'd say I really like this. It's going to save me a little bit of time. It's compact. I can take it with me. I can leave it on my welding table, whatever. Now, I tend to sharpen things in bulk, as opposed to, use tungsten and then take it out because it needs sharpened, and then put it back in, and then use it some more, and then take it out and put it. I tend to sharpen them in bulk. So I've got several tungsten in play at any given time. But this thing is so quick that you could clearly sharpen a tungsten in the middle of a job for less than a minute. And so I'm glad I found it. I can't see a good reason for spending $300 to $900 on a super fancy one. But I also haven't used those since I'm not a professional welder. I weld as a hobby because I enjoy it. I don't weld for welding's sake. I weld because I like to make stuff. And so it's a means to an end. At any rate, I'm rambling. I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Goodbye from Idaho.
As usual, if you like or dislike my video, please select the appropriate button and let me know why. I really appreciate comments, and I will answer every one. If you're new to my videos, please select the subscribe and the notification bell to get more videos like this.